Incredible! Unbelievable!
Save! And Spark our champions! Good up, Pepe!
Goal! It doesn't get any better than that!
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, here live from Roosevelt Field Island, where we will have a very interesting APSL Metropolitan Conference matchup between two sides that began wonderfully last weekend in their season. These two sides are Schneider, for starters, taking on New York International. Let's begin with New York International, who were promoted last year from the Cosmopolitan First Division, back-to-back promotions for that matter, looking to start the season with back-to-back wins after beating Vistula Garfield on this very pitch 3-2 last weekend. Of course, some new faces in their squad that we will introduce in due course. On the other hand, Schneider, who also had a very big win here last week against the defending champions, New York Pan-Cyprians, with a scoreline of 1-0, with a goal from their captain, Salim Drizzy. Of course, that was probably the result of the last match day, like we said, beating the defending champions, the Pan-Cyprians, with a goal from their captain. Can they continue their momentum here at Roosevelt Field Island? Of course, both of these sides played on this very pitch last year, and geometrically a little bit different than some of the other pitches on the APSL radar, if you like, Belton Stadium, Hofstra University, and Joseph Fonisa Field. A little bit wider in dimensions, but this pitch, of course, both of these sides have been accustomed to. Furthermore, a little tactical analysis that we will see these two sides feature. Of course, it is also the US Open Cup qualifying weekend today, with only 3 league matches to be played, this being one of them. A win for either of these two sides, meaning it will be back-to-back points, so for 6 points, and we'll start the year with a touch of daylight in this very embryonic APSL Metropolitan season. Greek Americans, of course, Lansdowne, Pan-Cypriot, and Doxa off, like we mentioned, due to the US Open Cup preliminary matchups taking place. The spiciest one probably of all is kicking off at about 8 o'clock. The Pan-Cyprian Freedoms will be taking on the New York Greek Americans, but the focus certainly is here in this very big matchup for these two sides. New York International, who will be sporting their black kit, and Schneider wearing their victorious kit from last week, their white shorts, gold, teal, yellow shirt, and pink socks. As it's a custom in these upper echelons leagues that we feature here on Game and Frame, the walkout, both sides will enter the pitch with the 3-man referee. Something that you're possibly noticing now on your screen is the goalkeeper for Schneider. That's actually their captain, Salim Drizzy, who, under unfortunate circumstance for Schneider, has to deputize in goal. Certainly has good frame to him. He was a goal scorer last year from centre back, finished like a centre forward, giving his side the all-important and lone goal in their match before a scoreless second half. And a big 3 points for them over the Pan-Cyprian Freedoms, like we mentioned, as the two sides will exchange handshakes with the referees. The two captains, Rio Koiso as well as Hugo Howard, will have a decision to make which side they will want to attack first, possibly. Take that back, it was already decided. So New York International will begin attacking from right to left, as well as Schneider attacking from left to right. We're just about ready for the first whistle here at Roosevelt Island. Dennis Koch with the honors of the first kick. Schneider will have the first possession. Referee just has a quick glance at his watch and to his two linesmen. And we're off underway here at Roosevelt Island. New York International taking on Schneider, who's in possession here. Which of these two sides can begin 2 for 2 in the season, coming off very impressive wins last week by 1-goal margins for Schneider, a 1-0 victory, and for New York International, a 3-2 victory over Vistula Garfield on this very pitch. First ball was a little bit loose and a free kick. Saad Afif won that free kick for his side. A couple of new faces for New York International, like we mentioned. Saad Afif and Yusuf Afif, who are in the starting lineup. Holden, who's deputizing at left full back, beside his captain Hugo Howard, who's in possession now. Here is Holden. Ross Holden tried to find Yusuf Afif. So Saad Afif will line up in the number 6 role. And Yusuf Afif off the left-hand wing. Ajikun through the middle, as per usual, as we saw last year in the Cosmopolitan First Division. A very mobile striker whose finishing prowess is something to keep an eye out on. Tom Holsch from center back floats one over the top to the full back, who's making a lung-busting run forward. That was Paul Restrepo, left full back. Glenn Gentle, who assisted the goal last weekend with a lovely cross from the left-hand side, which located his captain. Ball into the space for Ajikun, who's lengthening his stride. Ajikun square, cut out nicely. And some possession now for Schneider, back to Drizzy in goal. Certainly one thing about having a field player in the goal is the distribution that they could provide. So Lin Drizzy, an excellent distributor from center back. Maybe he will be asked to distribute some service from goalkeeper, as we've seen goalkeepers just inching their way up and playing a diagonal, or of course playing out of the back, which is a constant theme in modern football. Grubic from right full back, Dennis Koch, the ex-St. Francis Terrier, again leading the line for Schneider, but leading the line in essence. It will float all over the pitch as a false 9 at times, picking up spaces in the left channels, right channels, and dropping in to link the play, as we saw last week to great effect. Michael Larette will play in behind him. Of course, Glenn Gentle and Tal Benhamou, who had a very good game last week off the left and right wings. Here is Benhamou, drops the shoulder neatly, tries an effort from a long way away. And Gilden, first touches for the New York International goalkeeper. Hugo Howard possibly ricocheted off a hand, and a good advantage for the moment given from the referee. Vermeulen chasing. Afif. Ajikun's movement is clever. Ajikun through on goal. Ajikun scuffs it with the left foot. And Drizzy was behind it, but good clever movement from the center forward for New York International, Joshua Ajikun. Drizzy to Diego Silva. A little bit of a deeper role for Koiso and Silva today. Standing up his man neatly. Koch to the Japanese midfielder. Glenn Gentle from the left-hand side, trying to locate Koch's movement, just a bit overhit, and allowing Gilden to collect and distribute to his center back. Hugo Howard now in possession, the captain for New York International. Ross Holden, Afif, first time. Howard, Diego Silva, finds Koiso, a little 1-2. Larre has a little look over his shoulder. Glenn Gentle taking on his man, waiting for an overlap. Referee's flag is quickly risen, offside. Centre back, just a clever little, has to be careful there, can just about collect it as Drizzy came out of his area and waited for the ball to trickle in. Holtz.
Come back, use, relax.
Over the top to Grubic. Lovely play from the right full back. Falls to Dennis Koch on the top of the box. Dennis Koch lashes over. Lovely bit of work from the right full back, Boris Grubic, who, like we saw last week, advancing. Ben Hamu. Ricocheting off Vermeulen. Throw in for Zoom Schneider. Grubic. New York International ball. Ross Holden with length to Ajikun. Rises Vermeulen pressing Lee, who flicks it over the top. Controlled from Sadafif. Will pick up his head, try to locate Alex Ilorescu, who is lined up on that right-hand side for New York International. A little slip from Dennis Koch. Larre back to the German centre-back Tom Holtz. So his centre-back partner Jason Lee, the centre-backs will exchange. Not really a high press from New York International. Cleared away by Holtz. Howard, first time. Dia. Cleverly weighted to Afif. Overlap from Holden. Back to Sadafif. Koch's pressure. Free kick for New York International. Service. Drizzy has to be careful, and Ajikun lashes in his header with beauty. Lovely low service, and Ajikun was there at the first post to direct his header in the back of the net. A beautiful beginning for New York International. Ajikun strikes ahead of the queue and making no mistake with his finish. Ajikun is the man for the occasion for New York International as they hit the front. Afif. Grubic. Goal scorer just stumbles at an inopportune time. Howard will cushion. Back to the captain who has to communicate with Stevens. Stevens gives him a little lane to locate his pass, and back to Oscar Chamingele, who is playing right full back. And versatile mix of defenders New York International have. Here's their center back and captain playing a lovely weighted ball to Afif. Afif serves it to the second post. Ajikun was lurking. Theodorescu beaten to it by Koiso. Larek. Flag is possibly in the works of being risen, but the pass was overhit. Hugo Howard, a lovely weighted pass again. Yusuf Afif's control. Not this time. Grubic. Flick. And Chamingele. Stevens. Howard. Be careful of Ben Hamu's press. Holden, who slipped as he tried to clip one over the top to the goal scorer Ajikun. Hamu, Dia Muscular coming together. It's Ben Hamu who is down after that challenge, and some attention is needed. Of course, today's Game and Frame broadcast is brought to you by Petrobax, your gateway to Spain and Portugal. From unforgettable vacations to exclusive soccer trips, Petrobax gets you closest to the action, the culture, and the biggest teams on the Iberian Peninsula. Visit petrobax.com and start planning your dream trip today. Ben Hamu is up and having to go off for a moment. So for the moment, Zoom will be playing with 10. Let's just see if Ben Hamu, first of all, can re-enter. He's certainly dazed after that, coming together with Dia. See, one of the two substitutes for Zoom Schneider limbering up. Theodorescu on the far hand side. Howard can retrieve. Floats a lovely weighted pass again. 2 or 3 lovely first controls, 2 from Yusuf. Lee, back to Drizzy. Holtz. Just opened the control a bit, but located his left full back for Restrepo. Gentle. Dia was behind Gentle. Ben Hamu is back on the pitch, so certainly good news for Zoom Schneider. Very important player for them. more importantly for him, he's okay after that last coming together. Jason Lee. Koiso, which way will that go? Schneider ball is the decision. Silva just making sure that the ball goes backwards so Zoom can filter some possession. Drizzy. Holtz. Over the top to Ben Hamu. Gilden thought about coming. Goes down in the box. In the end, a good decision for goalkeeper to stay home. Now he can just communicate with his fullback who's on the stretch. Chambengele, good couple of touches. Theodorescu, lovely flick to Dia. Adjukun, the flag is down, but Holtz lengthened his stride and then cleaned up the situation. Afif. Reverse to Theodorescu. Koiso on the half turn. Grubic. Boris Grubic trying to find Ben Hamu. Holden was there. Lee. Holtz. Koiso has space to drive into. Ben Hamu inverting. Larray. A couple of chests there, but the second ball will fall to Zoom with Gentle waiting for the overlap from Restrepo, whose low service is cut out. Second ball picked up by Koiso. And out of play for New York International. Throw-in. Ball out of play. Diego Silva, lovely diagonal. Gentle, who a couple of times can take on Chambengele. Back to Diego Silva, excuse me. Then Hamu. Howard. Ben Hamu's press. Ben Hamu byline has a couple of runners. Ben Hamu. Good deflection by Stevens, who came across. Ben Hamu still has the possession. Forced wide from the captain. Trying some clever footwork. A risen flag. And a free kick for New York International. Gilden. Afif. Theodorescu wanted possibly a ball into the channel. The ball was to the feet. And throw in for Zoom Schneider, who trail here through a Joshua Adjukun header. A Ross Holden set piece, a leaping header from the center forward for New York International. Lovely service and a good clean contact. Howard, here is the goal scorer. Got it slightly cut under his feet, and Silva can assess the situation and locate Lee. Jason Lee lifts to Gentle, controls with the chest. A strip on the overlap. Koiso flicks it to Dennis Koch, controls with the chest. Koiso. Benhamu left-footed. Comfortable for Gilden. Found the half a yard of space and tried his left foot, but comfortable for Gilden. Holden, Grubic to Holch. Koiso, Larray, Holch. Rio's movement forward. Koiso to Silva, back to Koiso. A couple of times they've had some neat triangles. Here's a floated ball over the top to Gentle, Larray. Koiso was playing much deeper than last week, but given that his technical skill set, losing possession here to Afif. Good work in the end from the two center mids to convene in that situation, to just slow down the build-up play, throwing just below the halfway line. Ajikun with the chest. Vermeulen fouling Silva. Holch. Lee has to stretch. Back to Drizzy, who understandably a tough situation to deputize in the goal, but really didn't have a chance to make a save, as Ajukun's effort was neat and tidy off a well-taken set piece. Schneider trying to find the equalizer. Grubic does very well to win his side. A corner kick. So again, very good work from Boris Grubic from right full back. The award is a corner kick. Standing over the ball is Diego Silva. Silva's service to the penalty area goes through all the bodies. Dia can't locate Ajikun. Koiso. Holch thinking of that diagonal, trying to find Larray. Sarafif cushions. Champengele from right full back. Feel the rescue. Lovely. And intricate to Vermeulen. Flag is quickly risen as Joshua Ajikun may be just a step offside. But the first pass was certainly neat into Vermeulen, who tried a slide rule pass to the goal scorer, who was adjudged offside. Lee. Silva will Restrepo keep it in play. Yes is the answer. Gentle, pressed by Dia. Restrepo is possessed. Field a rescue. Ajikun is onside. He was offside in the first instance, but checked his run with a clever fashion and almost got a chance to apply another finish. Lee. Jersey. Really not a lot of press, two organized lines for New York International, 2 banks of 4, and Ajikun, of course, now behind the ball, but just trying to keep organized, keeping the lines tight and compact. Good rotations and good moments of transition. Here's one of them. Dia. Loose, however. Silva. Dia does the work necessary to retain the possession for his side. Afif, first time to Sad Afif, and the free kick. Just going over to have a quick word with Gilden, as Afif also there. I believe for persistent infringement was the question asked by the New York International goalkeeper. Nonetheless, we continue with a free kick. Hugo Howard, feel the rescue, where Restrepo has to apply his body and wins aside a free kick. Lee. Holden can quickly play it to Vermeulen, who's demanding it. Vermeulen. Good shift of the body. Theodorescu, great first touch. The second ball is bobbling. Ajikun almost flicked it. And correct time to Afif. Gentle. Larre. Restrepo from left fullback. From one fullback to the other with pinpoint accuracy. Afif's press meant a backwards pass. And once again, New York International can organize their lines. Silva. Afif going over to engage him. Grubic. Flat off the backside of Holden. Howard. Another coming together. No free kick given. Silva. Free kick given this time. Schneider has an opportunity to load the box. Of course, their big threat is under circumstance in the goal. The yellow card given to Afif. Still, they certainly do have some height in there to work with. New York International, of course, are also a tall side themselves. Correct service is needed. Here is the service to the second post. Flick back in, Koch in the air, Gilden clawing at it, off the line, and it is, let's see the decision. A goal, I believe, yes, indeed. It's the equalizer for Zoom Schneider. I just had to read the body language of the referee, quickly flex his hand, just making sure that he didn't call a free kick. So the equalizer for Zoom Schneider. Great set piece, great contact of the first ball, and almighty mess over there in the 6-yard area, but eventually just trickling over the line for their equalizer. Just had to read the body language again of the referee. There was some contact in the area, but the way he flexed his hand, pointing to the center circle in due course, just double checking that he didn't signal for an infringement. Here is an infringement on the halfway line. Nonetheless, a set piece, meaning the equalizer for Schneider. Koiso. Lee. Grubic. Koiso. Koch. Afif. Dia. Good press from Schneider, who certainly it's a moment of transition now. Theodorescu. Alex Theodorescu! Lovely snapshot. Just the wrong side of Drizzy's goal. But great work from Theodorescu, who had a little snapshot with his right foot. Drizzy just having a quick word with Holch. Two set pieces, 2 goals for Schneider and New York International. Of course, New York Internationals came directly off the set piece, and a little bit of a second ball in the area for Schneider's equalizer. Nonetheless, 2 set pieces, 2 goals, very important, especially at this league, at this level, for the care and the precision of the set pieces. 2 times, 2 very effective pieces of work from the dead ball. Afif just checked his run because he knew that he had a straight offside. Silva. Lee. Gentle is on the sprint. Goalkeeper a long way off his line, so to a risen flag, but advantage as Gilden quickly will distribute. Dia on the half turn. Afif. Over Grubic. Yusuf Afif, byline. Will check it to his right foot. On the top of the box, Theodorescu with back to goal. Sadafif. Vermeulen, lovely. Yusuf Afif thought about the cross in the second instance rather, served his cross in with the left foot. Dia flashed across the first post, but could it make a clean contact goal kick for Salim Drizzy. Good bit of distribution, finding his captain. Larray. Dia, Theodorescu. Koiso. Lee. Benhamu. Diego Silva. Koch. Again, much deeper now, as it is a very fluid and flexible front four for Schneider. Benhamu is occupying the position of the center forward. Grubic is high and wide on the right-hand side, with the man in possession here giving it back to the center back Lee, and back to him Silva, dropping in. So very fluid and flexible. Grubic. Once the surety of backwards pass, Holch. Quickly risen flag, gentle offside. 1-1 here at Roosevelt Island. 2 goals coming from set pieces. First one, a snap header by Adjikun. And the second one for Zoom Schneider. Let's just see this action first with Theodore Rescu. Good foot in from Lee, who had to be there in that situation as Theodore Rescu was driving inwards. International get back to this point after this action. Ben Hamu wins a deflection. Ben Hamu, lovely idea and the correct time for Koch's movement. Adjikun is offside. Just having a glance at the benches, I see 2 substitutes for Zoom Schneider and a much more expansive bench for New York International, with some big names on that very bench. But of course, we know in this division you can sub up to 7 times, but once you leave the field, you cannot re-enter. Koch in the area, stood up by Howard. Restrepo can load. Koch. Koiso using his body. Rio Koiso! It fell to him and he wanted to try his right foot. That is exactly what he did. Just over Gilden's goal. Quickly taken. The energy levels certainly have been very good for both sides. Good energy levels and intense running at times, and of course you have to just prepare a tactical game plan in defense when you're defending in your final third. So far from open play, as we know, no goals, 2 set pieces. We remain at 1-1. Lee. Grubic. Howard. Lee, Ben Hamu cushions. Afif, Koch, holding on his back. Afif can transition. Adjikun into the channel. Adjikun, some contact, was honest enough to stay on his feet. Adjikun by line and served it towards the 18. There was the runners ahead of the ball that was played back from the byline from Adjikun. Had little contact, but was honest enough to stay on his feet and tried to locate a teammate with a pass from the byline. Grubic. Tal Ben Hamu. Afif. Holden. Howard. Stevens from center back. Flag is down. Adjikun bypasses Drizzy. Adjikun makes it 2. A blur of brilliance from the center forward, who flicked it neatly around the goalkeeper that was onrushing and tapped home to an empty net. New York International 2, Zoom Schneider 1 at the double. Joshua Adjikun. Flag was down and he did the important part, which was bypassing the goalkeeper, flicking it around with his head and finding the open net finish for New York International second. instruction right after the aftermath of that goal from the New York International bench. Understandable, as right when you score, it's very crucial to keep the next 5 minutes strong and composed. So to resume Schneider now, they have to try to find a second equalizer. Here's Larray. What a move this would be. Larray Gilden is coming across and collecting. Howard. Afif. Stood up by Grubic. Afif. Dia from the top of the box scuffs it. And out of play, but once again, the passing prowess from Hugo Howard. Something to keep an eye out on. We've seen this last week as well with the New York Pan Cyprians. Let's just see this action first. Little tug on the shirt of Dia. Theodorescu in the box. Alex Theodorescu. And Drizzy had to apply knuckles. Good strong positioning from Drizzy, and just had to apply 2 knuckles and flick it round. A cluster that is expanding now. Served in, dangerous area, bounced very devilishly in the heart of the area. Gentle is asked to run. Falls back to Theodorescu. Hajukunana hat-trick, mind you. Sliding tackle, the ricochet aiding a Zoom Schneider foot. Then Hamu thought about the diagonal to Koch. Silva. Koiso. Going to ground is Dia, getting a bit of a chunk of the ball, but back it'll go with Holtz to Drizzy. From one goalkeeper to the other. And Gilden, understandably so, as we're approaching halftime, just wanting to take the sting out of it a bit. Allowing his team to have a breather and get up the pitch or get in a good defensive position. Some press from Moulin. So to Adjukun. Good work rate from the centre forward, but it comes away once again. Free kick on the halfway line. Quickly taken. Ben Hamel. Neat footwork again. Wants to find Koch over the top. As Gilden again chewing some clock. Koiso, pressed by Vermeulen. Grubic. Grubic. Mike, but Afif is there to assist. Howard direct. Adjukun first touch need, but Holch is on his back. Silva, as he flicked that ball over the top to Rubic. The halftime whistle here at Roosevelt Island, 2-1 in favor of New York International, who found the opening goal through an Adjukun header off a set piece, riposted by a set piece of Schneider's own, finding their equalizer. And after a couple minutes before the halftime break, Adjukun at the double, bypassing the stand-in goalkeeper Salim Drizzy and tapping home to an empty net. At halftime here at Roosevelt Island, New York International 2, Schneider 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Roosevelt Island at halftime. New York International in the lead after 2 goals from Ajikun. We're going to have a change in goal for Schneider. Ben Hamu will enter the goalposts, meaning that Drizzy will take up his position at center back. We also had a change at half for New York International. Olawin, who's lined up on this near hand side, on the right hand side, will begin the second half, replacing Dia. I believe one more change as well for New York International, that is Ensa Sane, who has replaced also Alex Theodorescu. So 2 changes at the half for New York International. Olawin and Sane on, Theodorescu and Dia off. As we're underway here for the second half. And also a change of, obviously, for players-wise, as Drizzy began the game in goal, will line up at centre back next to Holch, meaning that Lee, who was playing at centre back in the first half, will slot into the left-hand side. A swap of full-backs, Restrepo from left to right, meaning that Grubic, who began at right full-back, will play right wing. That is the halftime tweaks. Those are the halftime tweaks for Schneider. Drizzy.
Good step.
Back with Drizzy, who certainly will add to the defense, and can also, as we saw last week, find the back of the net. Olawin with a length of a stride to knock the ball off for a throw-in. Gentle. Here's Sanet. Stumbles. Vermeulen. Ajikun tries to latch it to Vermeulen. Drizzy. Pick up his head. Gentle is probably offside and stopped his movement. Chamengele wants some pressure. Holch. Drizzy cushions. Holch has to be careful. Olawin lengthening his stride. Olawin byline, cuts it low. Ajikun, hat-trick hero. Impudent in the extreme. Olawin with athleticism to find the byline, cuts it back to the man on the brace, who is on a hat-trick now. Ajikun, that's a neat goal. That's a splendid delivery and a simplistic but beautiful finish for Ajikun. Hat-trick hero. And what a change that was for New York International. Olawin has leapt in from the bench and made an immediate impact. The assist to Ajikun, who completes his hat-trick in about 48-49 minutes. Holch. How can Schneider now riposte, trailing by 2. Free kick. Coke and Silva over the dead ball. 2 right-footed options. Gilden has constructed his 3-man wall. It's going to be Silva around the wall neatly. Was that a fingertip touch by Gilden? The appeals are certainly for that, but the referee and linesman signal goal kick. Great shape to the free kick from Silva. Try to round the 3-man wall. Afif elevates to Olawin. Sane. Olawin. 2 substitutes exchanging there. Oscar Chapengele back to Stevens. Furthermore to Howard. Ross Holden from left full back. Afif has dropped in between one line to receive. Has possibly some defending to do here as Coke latches onto the ball. Silva spreads it to Glenn Gentle, the man with the all-important assist last week. Glenn Gentle curls one off the midriff of Stevens. Holch. Lee will retain it in play. Gentle with the chest. Free kick. And Hamu. Again, similarly to Drizzy, in the first half can assist with the build-out, as remind you that they both are players that regularly play either at centre-back or off the wing. Under circumstance today, have to deputize in goal for Schneider as Holden goes to ground, throw in for Schneider as they trail by 2 in the second half. After a sprite beginning to the second half, Drizzy. Ben Hamu, a long way off his line. He has to retreat back quickly now. Sane. Glenn Gentle. Reverse to Coke. Stevens plays the short pass backwards to his keeper Gilden. Holch. German centre back. Gentle. Tried a little nutmeg on Chamengele. Olawin with some defensive work. Thick ricochet. Holch beats Ajikun in the air. Silva using his body to, in the first instance, control the ball, but his pass is loose. Advantage given by the referee. Will Holden try The long throw-in. Yes is the answer. It's flat to the first post. Needing a clearance from Drizzy. Howard first time. Afif will just drop his shoulder to find the short pass to his fullback. Back with Afif. Stevens to Chamengele. Afif, turn is a cry. Some knee touches and finds the fullback who found some space on that left-hand side. Holden. The underlap, but the pressure is good from Schneider. Howard. Hugo Howard loses the touch. Silva. Back to Silva. First time to the second post. Gilden, commanding and assertive from the goalkeeper. Quickly distributes. Adjakun is onside. Sane's movement ahead. "55 minutes in, New York International 3-1 to the good. Holloway certainly made a difference in the second half. Instant impact after coming on at halftime with his assist for Adjakun's third. Afif. As something has happened on the outskirts of the pitch as the trainer is being called in. I believe a substitution is being asked for. I believe that's Restrepo who's gone down. Just needing to confirm that as the substitution is called for. Of course, guys, today's Game in Frame broadcast is brought to you by Petrobax, your gateway to Spain and Portugal. From unforgettable vacations to exclusive soccer group trips, Petrobax gets you closer to the action, the culture, and the biggest teams on the Iberian Peninsula. Visit petrobax.com and start planning your dream trip today. That is indeed Paul Restrepo, who's limping off the pitch. Uro will enter in his stead. Stevens. So that change rather is meaning Grubic back to right full back, and Uro will play ahead of him on the right hand side. Drizzy. Koch. Holtz. Uro's first involvement. Uro. Larray. An important block from Afif. Gentle is offside. Vermeulen round the corner. Gentle stretches. Koiso, Olawin, Coke. Sane. Afif is through on goal. Ben Hamu coming a long way off his line and using his feet to control. Uro appeals of a handball. And, a whistle. Towards Larre. Serves it towards Koch, who almost found the second ball after a little loose first touch from Holden. Vermeulen. Chemigelet. Sane. Howard. Afif. Howard. Stevens. Good bit of possession from New York International. Sane finding a pocket. The ricochet finds Olawin. The one. And almost the second ball was played back to him. The possession, some service from the right. Uro goes over, no free kick. Afif almost located Olawin. Ajikun. Ajikun. As a substitution for New York International, Sean Molloy will enter for Vermeulen in the middle of midfield. Good shift from New York International's number 17. Vermeulen replaced by Sean Molloy. Some fresh legs ahead of Afif, who's playing the quarterback role still, as the two substitutes ahead of him are going to play ahead of him, Sane and Molloy. So the pivot remains. Afif the pivot and the quarterback for New York International. Trizzy. Free kick for Schneider. Gonna load the area. Trizzy, so too Holch, so too Gentle, lurking in the area. Ball had to be a little bit more weighted as it ricocheted off the one-man wall. Koiso. Molloy's first involvement is to win his side a free kick. Over the top to Adjakun. Dueling with Drizzy. Cushions it to Sané, who curled in left-footed effort, tried to shape it to the far post. Again, very good center forward play from Adjakun, whose endeavor there, and the cushion to Sané, who made a third man run. As we've entered the 65th minute here at Roosevelt Island, New York International still in a good position to find the 3 points. Schneider certainly has a chunk of time to riposte. They do need 2 goals. Trying to find their second of the evening. Overhit towards Gentle. I believe another substitution is being prepared for New York International. Champengele. Lee with urgency to Coke. Larray. Uro's movement in the wrong time. Adjakun. Slide rule. Afif. Byline. Benhamu needed 2 attempts at it, but certainly cut off the angle nicely and had to find the second ball. Jordan Trott will enter. The Englishman replacing the goal scorer of not 1, not 2, but 3 goals. The hat-trick man receiving a lovely warm embrace and lots of congratulations from the bench. Great day's work for Adjakun. And so far for New York International. Here's Jordan Trott's first involvement. Let's just see where he will line up. If he will line up at center forward, there'll be a little bit of a change. Although we almost latched onto it. Sané goes up. Free kick.
I'll take it.
Over the top. Holden. Afif. Larray. Silva on the turn. Substitution for Schneider. Let's see if will be before the dead ball. Yes is the answer. Michael Larray will be replaced by Mendoza. Schneider maximizing their slender bench as both of their substitutes that were available to them have entered. Lovely weight and lovely shape, but no final touch. Out of play for a Gildan goal kick. Let's just see where Mendoza will line up. Seemingly at center forward. That means Dennis Koch will drop in behind him. I'm sure they will interchange at times. But some fresh legs for Schneider now. Trot. Koch. Uro at the first post, and just about enough from Gildan. Covered the first post and just had to wrap his hands around the shot that came in from Uro at the first post. New York International have a set piece to defend here. Jersey, of course, in the mixer. So to Holtz. 2 hands risen without swing. Good service. Holtz thought about applying a boot. Just ran out of pitch. Sane. Champengele, Stevens. Back to his fullback. Gentle, forcing him to tease one towards Trot. Lee, Gentle. Out of pitch. Out of touch. Throw in for New York International, who, like we mentioned in the pre-match, one of these two sides, if they can be victorious, will start the season on 6 points, with the likes of the New York Pan Cyprians, the New York Greek Americans, Lansdowne and Doxa not featuring in league play today due to their matches in the US Open Cup qualifying round. So 2 wins of 2, of course that means 6 points and a little bit of daylight in this very, very young, can't stress the very beginnings of this long, tumultuous season in the APSL Metropolitan Conference. But 6 points after 2 matches is a very good touch. This is what these two sides are dueling over, and at the moment 72 minutes gone. New York International look to be in that set position. Let's see if Schneider can react and possibly find a goal just to sharpen the procedure a little bit. Next goal, without saying, with about 20 minutes left, is the most crucial. Big difference from 4-1 up to 3-2 down, as that service trickled out of play for a goal kick. Still a fair chunk, and as we know, a lot can happen, especially in this division, in a matter of seconds and minutes. There's 20 minutes, plus a bit of change left. Gildan, gentle with the chest. Champengele hacked it off Olowin, but had the presence of mind to flick it to his right fullback. Lee will take the throw. Koch. Sane. Some lovely touches from the center midfielder. Mind you, he and Olowin entered at halftime, and Olowin's immediate impact. The referee's flag is down. Now it's risen. Silva. Koiso. It's a little flare up. As the referee will want to have a word with Lee and Olawin. Let's play is the message from Drizzy. Restart with a throw-in. Coke.
Keep our heads, Black. Keep our heads.
Off the referee. Restart with a drop ball. Holtz. Silva. Holtz elevates to Gentle. Times his run. Glenn Gentle to the second post. Holden, hack clear. Half out. Uro gets the first ball. Olawin gets a piece of it. Champingela has a stretch. Only finds Gentle. His clearance. Glenn Gentle. Bobbling and comfortable to the grasp of Gilden. Of course, the new rule this year that's being implemented is if a goalkeeper holds on to the ball for past 8 seconds, a corner kick will be awarded. But Gilden distributed quickly. We saw that couple times so far in this game and frame season. Certainly the referees are making a hand movement or a counting of the fingers to notify the goalkeepers when those 8 seconds are allotted. Gentle.
Hey, keep it, Black. Keep the ball.
Right, you're in a good position. Just try and get a bit of pressure on the ball, right? Pressure on the ball. You're good position. As you with the striker, no quality, right?
Champingela. Back to Gilden. His clearance goes out to touch. Koiso. Back to Silva, who can load. He loads to the second post. Heads went up. And again, comfortable for Gilden. Will quickly distribute as New York International can transition. Bit of a 3-on-3 counterattack. Malloy busting a gut to get into position. Afif circles it around to Sane. And Olawin was offside. Good high line from Schneider there after the bits of transition. Gentle. Towards Drizzy, who stayed up. Gilden applied knuckles. Jordan Trott on the sprint with Holtz. Jersey has remained up the pitch. About 12 minutes left, maybe You will see at the last 12 minutes at center forward. From goalkeeper to center back to center forward. Certainly an interesting day for Salim Drizzy, but his leaping prowess and the ability to serve some service towards him might be effective if he lines up at center forward. Just see him walking back into position, possibly not yet. Schneider do have 11 minutes to somehow think how to risk and maximize as they trail by 2. Mendoza, and a necessary touch before Gentle could latch onto it. Much better, however, from Schneider asking some questions of the New York international defense. I see a yellow card given to Ben Hamu for, I believe, because he was seated. Never seen that before, actually. Certainly, let's see the set piece first. Uro, back down. Believe because he was seated or kneeling, I'm not exactly sure. Nonetheless, Ben Hamu in the book. Koiso, high foot, signaled by the linesman, but referee, now he'll stop the play and award New York International free kick.
Hey, slow it down, Buck. Keep the ball.
82nd minute here at Roosevelt Island.
John, your job now is to stay on number 8, okay? Stay on number 8, enter. Right. Sad is sitting right back with the centre backs. He doesn't need to be there. Push him on into the extra midfielder because you're doing 2 jobs, right? Push on a little bit.
Howard will elevate to Olawen. Lee.
Come on, energy! Pressure on the fucking ball!
Drizzy. Uro. Advantage. Mendoza. Flat. To Koch, who left it for Drizzy. Uro. Who certainly has helped in the attacking lines to find a route to goal, however, as they still trail by 2 with about 7 minutes plus whatever the referee wants to add on here. New York International just trying to keep some possession here, as Schneider understandably will have to risk a bit in search of their 4th through Olawen. Man on is the cry. Chapingele showing neat feet. Try to shot with his left. Drizzy.
Possession! Let them walk!
Howard to Stevens. International now can
Keep the fucking ball!
Koiso. Japanese midfielder was asked to play a bit deeper. Finds a nice pass forwards. Mendoza. Loud cry of keep from Gilden, and you will collect. Pulls it out to Afif. Sad Afif. Olawen. Keep the ball is the cry from the bench. Understandable and the correct thing to do for international. Howard shouldn't have to press. Can free up some space on the transition for international. Zoom need to find at least one goal to stand up a grandstand finish. So far, so stern have been New York International. Gentle, driving on his man, coming across as Stevens to assess. As a yellow card is brandished to Holden. Afif. Silva. Koiso leaves it. Mendoza. And comfortable for Gilden. Koiso. Olowin. Will try to dribble away as Afif has a bit of a cramp. Afif will come off. Good shift from Saad Afif. Suffering from a bit of cramp, replaced by Sam Kraft. Will slot into that number 6 role. A fullback, but a very technical fullback at that. Can certainly do a job in the middle of midfield. This is what he's asked to do for the remaining minutes in this match. Advantage. Afif towards Kraft, who's Gentle. Olowin going over to press. And a final substitution. Oscar Chamingwele will be replaced by Singh, who will slot into that 6, meaning that Sam Kraft will go back to his position at right full back as Jordan shots offside. Lee. Kraft. Mendoza, stood up by Kraft, gets a good chunk of it, Singh's first involvement. Uro,
Jordan, just tuck in the space just in case. In case they step into that number 3.
Holch drives into some space, finds Lee, who has more green grass ahead of him. Mendoza dragged out to the left-hand side. Flick from Gentle. Sane's press, gets a toe on it. Forcing the ball all the way back to Benhamu.
Number 10, you go! Let's get the ball, you go! Hold, George! There you go!
Silva. Kraft has to be wary. The spin of the ball will allow him to get up and try to stand up his man. Ricochets off Olawin, who's
It's not even gone out. That's a yellow.
That's our ball.
Boy, you can't kick a ball, it's not out of it.
So we've already entered in the stoppage time. I believe there will be 2 more minutes left as Olawin is still
Come on, Gary, you're the last man on the bench. Lace him up. We put you on the roster, baby.
Hey, you're short-term regulation here. Come on.
I come up short-term
Regulation.
as Olawin is
You need boots?
a bit groggy. Do have 2 minutes to see out New York International if they do play with 10 men. Singh. Afif.
Last minute, boys. Last minute.
Last knockings here at Roosevelt Island. Corner flag is what's being requested. Let's see if Olawin will re-enter. A lovely sliding challenge by Malloy. And another one at that from Holden. Olawin is probably not going to re-enter. Gentle. Kraft gets a toe. Sam Kraft communicating with his defender who came across to clear lines. Lee will load. Uro cushions. The clearance is needed for a driving run. Holtz. Koiso. Uro. Hacked with no nonsense style from the captain. Seconds, minutes probably remain. Reverse to Gentle. Teases it into Drizzy, who leaves it. Flag is down. Coke has a lash. And that is the final action. That is the final whistle here at Roosevelt Island. 2 for 2 for New York International, defeating Schneider today with a final score of 3-1. They hit the front early in the first half through Ajikun, riposted by a set piece of Schneider's own, and 2 more goals coming from the hat-trick hero, Ajikun, Joshua Ajikun. All 3 goals and all 3 points for New York International. They begin the season with 2 wins from 2 after defeating Vistula Garfield last week. This week, defeating Zoom Schneider with a final score of 3-1 at the top of the table, New York International. Stay tuned for interviews. Welcome back, guys. I'm here joined by Sad Afif and Joshua Ajikun, two very important players for New York International's victory, 2 for 2 coming into the new APSL Metropolitan Conference after a win last week, after a 3-2 win, after a scoreline of 3-2, after a win of 3-2, beating Vistula. There we go, finally got it out. Sad, I'm going to begin with you. A very important game, of course, in a field that you guys were accustomed to playing last week against Vistula. Talk to me a little bit about what was said before the match, knowing that a win would take you top of the table, as 4 teams didn't feature today.
Honestly, like, coming into the league, we heard a lot of people talking about us, saying we're the worst team in the league, we're just coming up, we're going to get battered, and for me, that's the motivation. Like, I love to hear that. Nothing motivates me more than hearing that.
And of course, yes, back-to-back promotions. It's a very big step for New York International. You guys showed your quality last year in Division 1 in the Cosmopolitan League, but of course a lot of quality and a lot of bench. We'll get to that in one moment. Talk to me first, like, about your team. You guys have a couple of new faces on your team. I see that it's very well gelled together. There's a very good chemistry, a lot of communication between the bench and the players, and it almost feels like a family at times, right?
Definitely, 100%. And I think a big part of that is we had a long preseason where we got to know each other. We went out a few times where we had team events, so we got to meet each other outside of football, get to know, like, the little bits and pieces about each other's just life, and I think that carries on to the field. And also just, like, a bunch of practices over and over together, trying to get that idea in that we want to put out right here, and obviously that's panned out. So it's been great so far, but we keep going. This is only the start.
Very well said. And before we get to the goal scorer, I just want to talk a little bit about the tactical setup. So you were playing in the 6.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a narrow field here at Roosevelt Island. It's a bit different than the Belton Stadiums and the Hofstra University. How important is that playmaking role? I actually called you the quote quarterback of the team as you were dropping between the lines and you had a lot of running ahead of you, put some fresh legs in the second half. How important is that role at the 6 for New York International?
I appreciate that. I think it's important, but to be honest, like, I can only take part of the credit, a little bit of the credit. This guy just banged in 3 goals. It's hard for me to sit here and be like, I just quarterbacked or anything. He just carried us to this win.
Now we'll go from the number 6 position to the number 9. Joshua Ajikun, hat-trick hero, 5 goals so far in the season. Very well taken first with a set piece. You flung yourself into the area and connected with a header. What is the confidence like after you see the ball hitting the back of the net so early on as a centre forward?
As a centre forward, I think I can speak for all of us. I think the moment you get your first touch or your first goal in a game, it just lifts your spirits, and I think everything then follows on that you kind of get. And I think that's followed on from last week from the first game. I think getting my first goal kind of early on, then it's just like the season has started quite well. And you just, that momentum and that kind of, I wouldn't even say luck, but yeah, that kind of feeling or whatever just continues, and I think I'm just going to continue riding that, and I can't take the credit. As you're saying, we've got the quarterback here, but a lot of the players, we've started to see a lot of like kind of patterns and teamwork already gelling. They do a lot of the work. I'm just 5 yards there, making sure I'm just finishing off. So again, credit to the boys for making me shine.
And of course, other than your goal scoring, something that I wanted to mention too is your work rate. I feel like everyone has this discipline, this work rate, this endeavor to win the next ball, to win the 50-50, the duels. Every challenge that was contested, there was applause from the bench. Is that something that you also kind of lead from the front as well? Your pressure, your intensity, and of course your clinical goal scoring finish. Because after you scored two more goals in the hat-trick hero of the day.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think, again, yeah, we're the first line of defence, so it's literally said to us from training, and it's the ethos of the club as well. It's like we're not individuals here, so we all kind of work for the team. So it's not just the defender's job just to kind of defend. So they make sure that I'm continually working, and I'm also making sure that the structure and the shape is in that as well. And so that's a lot of that comes from the team ethos, but also from management as well. Like, everybody makes sure that we know our roles, we know what it is that we turn around and need to do when it comes to game time. So again, it's like we have these discussions, we have these the talks, so everyone's clear with what needs to be done before the game. So that's why we can be quite organised and set up the way that we set up.
And of course, second win in a row. What does 2 for 2 with 6 points means in this APSL Metropolitan Conference? And what to next? What is the week in the lead up to the next fixture looking like? Take me a little bit about the behind the scenes of the New York International program.
Sure, obviously we're happy with that, and we're going to enjoy this win, but it's still like early on in the season, so we don't want to, again, I think what we're saying, we don't want to park the bus, and that's exactly what it is. It's like we're going to take it game by game, step by step. Again, we know we're the new boys here, but we got a point to prove, and so we're going to go back, we're going to work hard, we're going to do training, but even outside of that, coach has already said we do our extra work, we go for our runs, we work on our touch and things like that, and that's how we kind of work and build to the next game. So we're not going to rest on 2 for 2, we want to make it 3 for 3 and continue and just see how we do for the rest of the season.
Very well said, and I'll wrap up with you, Sad. Your goals for the APSL Metropolitan Conference are?
Our goals are to do as best as we can. We want to take it game by game. We already got 2 wins, so that's, like you said, that it's going to help us carry some momentum into the next game. And right now, we feel like that we're seen as the underdog, which brings out a little hunger in us, and we're not afraid to play against anyone, and we just want to take it game by game, see where we can go. I don't think that there's any limitation on it at all.
Obviously, you guys showed your quality today. Huge 3 points, victorious today, defeating Schneider with a final score of 3-1. Your hat-trick hero, your quarterback 6 if you'd like. Congratulations, guys, and enjoy the victory.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it.
Set up for today, game in frame. Final score at Roosevelt Island, New York International 3, Schneider 1.